What's up, everybody? Midjourney Fast Hours podcast, episode 51. We're back after a long hiatus. I think we took maybe a full month off, something like
4
that.
weeks, something like that. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we're sorry, guys. We missed you. We missed this. This is our therapy each week, and we've both just been busy and had things going that just conflicted. But we're back. We are back. We have a lot to talk about, obviously. Lots changed in a month. Surprise, surprise. We got several new video models. We've got several new sort of like ways to think about how you would, get to end results of things. We've got Midjourney Style Explorer going further and further. So, I mean, there's a lot that we can cover. I think you and I were talking about it first. I think we got to start with Sora 2, right?
Yes. Like bombshell again. Just every week it's something that is, I don't know, landmark, watershed, whatever the holding term is you want to call it. Because this one, it's just again like there's certain elements that always feel like holes in the tools. Like one is editing. Like one can't you can't really like edit a bunch of clips together with one shot. I mean you can, but it's never that good.
Yeah.
But, Sora comes out with this thing and it's just like full edits, and you can also do sound and dialogue and also IP allegedly, and apparently you can do whatever IP you want. So again, it feels like this is just the next step. And now again, because they put this out, everyone's going to want to do it. And it's I don't know, have you gotten to play with it at least once or twice to see certain capabilities? I
have been watching closely, but I have not been in the tool yet. Okay. I've saved a few things that I've really enjoyed, but I think like just in general, again, like I've been wrapped up with other things, so I haven't gone full into Sora yet. I think it's interesting. I knew Sora 2 was coming this year. I didn't know when. So that was kind of interesting to kind of just see that fly up out of nowhere last week. They did take Sora, I think, out of the navigation on ChatGPT like last week, so it was like there was maybe some whispers that okay, here it comes, like maybe they're gonna swap that out. So that was interesting. And then I think Google's gonna have probably VO4 by the end of the year. I would imagine they
got it teed up already. They're just waiting for Q4.
Here we go, man.
Yeah, they're waiting for Q4. They're waiting for Sora to drop Sora 2. Let Sora get their couple weeks, and then they'll get their couple weeks. I mean, it's like the one thing about Sora is it's fun. Man, like I like been playing around with it. First off, I've been trolling my friends a bunch. It's epic. Like you can go in there. Look, we have a buddy who we make fun of him because he only likes to drink at bars. He doesn't like to drink at people's apartments or houses or like in his own home. He likes to only go to bars and get drunk, and then he screams like a goat. So I made like a South Park episode preview.
How old is this boy?
He's getting close to 40, but it's we still gotta let our inner child out, dude. I don't discriminate against anyone's kinks. They want to party, they want to party.
What's the deal with not drinking in the home?
It's just it's like a running joke that it's always just like, where are we going out? And it's just like, well, sometimes we don't want to go out. We just want to hang out with the boys, but he wants to go out. So
all right, man.
But I made this like episode preview where it's like he's like I put him in the episode and he's now Randy Marsh's new drinking buddy, and it's just like, who is that guy? I don't know. His name is Dweed, but he likes to scream like a goat. It's like it can come up with this. You can give it a very minimal prompt. It could be like South Park episode preview. This character is introduced and we're making fun of him, and that's it. And then like the whole script, the whole cuts, the edits, everything. So it's very attainable. Which I think is if you want to talk about like AI adoption, I have a feeling this will be like the best tool for AI adoption since probably Midjourney, where you can go in with minimal background, with minimal sort of knowledge, type in anything and get something good. And then it's like fun. You can share it. And obviously it lives in its own little social feed that's there, which another point I think is also interesting is that everyone's been like, why do we need like a dedicated sort of like AI only space, right? But I think it's good because it's like it doesn't pollute everything else. Like it'll get shared on all the other tools, but like when you go there, it's all fake. It's like it's not like anyone's trying to break reality. Like everything was made was made.
Yeah. So it's like a little bit of a sandbox in a sense, right? Where
Yeah.
you know the context of everything that's posted ahead of time. So then maybe your mindset going into that is a little bit different, right? Because I think we've probably seen so much, I would imagine the same way, but half the time I'm looking at something just as a bystander, and the other half I'm deconstructing it in my mind, thinking about, oh, they did this and they went to do that, and because like they had to do this in order to get that, right? And it's like, okay, would that, is that something that I would want to do with anything that I'm creating? Like I think about it from both sides of the equation, and I think if you were going into that app, right, like I would be much more focused on the latter of like almost like learning through other people's creations at the same time.
Yeah, which is like, to me, if this is how our AI is going to go, and it's going to be like totally just type in whatever you want, to me that's like ideas again win, because if everyone can do anything, then what's ever going to rise to the top is going to be the best idea. And then it has the one thing that's great about it is because like old Sora, like Sora 1, like had the remix feature, which I always thought was like their best feature, which is basically like the video to video stuff. But you can do that with anyone's post now. So like I saw one with Mr. Rogers explaining what Riz is. Like it's
Nice.
like I was just like, hit the remix button. I'm like, explain what 6'7" is, that stupid Gen Z term. And it's just like you can go and play off what people, it feels very much like Midjourney, like the Explore page, how you can take it and go and use it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's cool.
Kind of why I like it. But it's definitely going to be, I've heard a bunch of people say their kids are using it. Like they're having fun with it. It gets comedy, which is great. Like it has like an actual comedic timing and like understands that stuff, which I don't think most tools do. So it's a whole new ball game. If that's what the real model is going to be like, if it's going to be that good, then game on. Like again. Like,
Jesus. I mean, game on every week.
Every week.
So for people that haven't used it yet, are trying to get in, you're saying that in terms of like just creating things, this is the easiest it's ever been from a video standpoint.
Easiest it's ever been.
And then with the tech itself and kind of like where we've come, right? Like this is probably going to be a real eye-opening moment for a lot of people, especially maybe people that haven't gone super deep in video yet.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I'll pop it open. Like, this is the desktop view. But if we go to, like, the home page, it feels very much like the Explore page on ChatGPT, where you can, like, go through here. You can look, everyone's got their profile, right? You have your likes. But I have to figure out I don't know if you can hear this, right? The sound? No.
I think I can, but the audience won't be able to. I believe.
It's really annoying because anytime you hover over a video, it just starts playing. Like I don't.
Oh, the audio, yeah.
Yeah. So if you see down at the bottom here, I'm not going to hover over it so it doesn't screw up the audio. But you'll see there's the likes, the comments, then there's the little remix button.
Yeah.
You can hit that and remix it, which is just like you take it and do whatever you want. Like if I wanted to change this character from Bender to someone else, like you can just do that, or you can be like, let's take the next iteration of this scene and go with that. But yeah, it's like, to me, and like the IP stuff, I don't know how.
Yeah.
They're getting around this.
Right.
You can use anything.
Meanwhile, Midjourney's getting sued left and right.
Yeah. So that opens up a whole nother conversation, right? It's like, if they don't care about it, do we care about it? Like, this is at a mass scale. Like, everyone's IP. Like, here's Mr. Rogers, right? Like
Mr. Rogers. Dude, I love Mr. Rogers too because, dude, like, you've got a kid now, but when you ever start letting your child watch, some shows, or you're trying to find TV shows for your child, almost all of it's garbage.
Yeah.
Went down this rabbit hole of Mr. Rogers with the kids, and they loved it.
That's awesome.
And I was like, guys, this is the GOAT right here. This is the GOAT. I mean, he was on the air for decades. I mean, give this man his flowers, dude.
It's awesome. Like, it's so fun because you can also do, like, when you're in here creating, you can add an image and start from an image. You can also do like cameos. So with cameos, like you can record yourself. It's actually like a really pretty decent one-to-one transfer of like yourself and your voice into the video. So you can just do that. But if you're, you can also allow yourself, like, I don't know if they have the settings here. No, I don't know if they have the settings, but like on the mobile app, you can say like allow my friends to use my cameo or allow like everyone to use my cameo, which is
Okay.
so like if you put it out there, like Sam Altman's is public for everyone, so you can just do whatever you want with Sam Altman. I've seen some
God,
crazy-
could you imagine if he's like, yeah, let's do it.
yeah. So I mean, like this stuff has been pretty fun. Like I
Super
created
cool.
this, I created
Yeah,
this one with
I'm
Mario.
excited to get into it.
Oh, dude, it's just like
What about
taking
okay?
this
So
and then remixing it too.
Are they still doing codes to get access? Is that still happening for people that
believe
haven't
so.
been in?
I believe that's the case.
So where do these people find codes at?
They're just floating around right now. I'm pretty sure I gave away all of my codes. Those were let's see where they are. Are they here? It's so much easier on the actual mobile app than the desktop app. There's like way more stuff to do. I like it more on the mobile app than here. It's fun to. It's like fun to. What's the best way to put this? Just like be out on a walk and have like a random idea and then hit it and then you have like a full video. You know, like it's
Yeah.
so like in the like I'm have like Mario playing and one street hoops like and one mixtape style.
Love it.
Dude, you can do anything. Like I'm making, you can make South Park episodes. I have myself in a cameo for an ESPN broadcast. Like,
What's is the aspect ratio either 16:9 or 9:16? Are those your
Correct.
two choices? Okay.
yeah. So I mean, again, like I don't know how this IP works. Like, there's one down here where I just said for Lord of the Rings, I'm like, give me Lord of the Ring, give me the perspective of Frodo for Lord of the Rings for like all the major events or something like that. And it was like, how is it able to go through like here and generate that? Like it's so random.
Yeah.
And it makes no sense. Like this one saying, it's like, give me a scene for Love Island where they see
what about
Ronald
the,
and Wendy.
What about the sequential, like the linear flow of this? So we're at a level now with this where, using that Frodo example, like it's able to put things in a chronological order on its
Yeah.
own.
Yeah. I said, give me Frodo's journey from his perspective, basically. Like first person perspective of Frodo's journey through the entirety of the story. And it's like actually sequentially right. Correct.
Yeah.
Which is,
I mean, it's obvious, but it's also like a big deal still. Because, like you think about it, it's like, okay, well, these are things that you would probably normally have to manually task yourself out in an LLM to build out some sequential order or script or whatever, right? So you knew it was happening at some point. But to get that just from maybe a simple standpoint, right, where it's baked into the back end to give you something chronological, linear, cumulative storytelling arc, that's pretty cool.
you can type in something as simple as like, Toyota ad. It'll create a full ad for you. Like, I mean, it's scripted, it's edited, it's sort of like fits their brand vibe. Like it's not. I just
What's
don't
the deal? What's the deal
understand.
with generations right now? Do they have a limit on generations? Do you have to be a certain plan member like they did with Sora with Pro and Plus and all this bullshit, or no?
I'm pretty sure it's 50 generations a day, but right now I haven't been. There's like no credit system, so I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure what it is.
Maybe right now it's free for all. They want people to create. They want to flood. Then they maybe put
exactly
some posts up here shortly.
They definitely want to flood. This is definitely an interesting marketing strategy where, I would say probably one of the better marketing strategies I've seen in a while where, again, it's just guerrilla, where it's like, all right, we'll just probably blast all of this stuff, get people to just use it because they're seeing the most ridiculous things, and then like we'll get a bunch of new users who aren't just the diehards to then like when Sora 2 finally releases the full model, like, oh, I'm interested in that now.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
We were talking about this a little bit before we hit record too, but like, so obviously, like from a social aspect, this is fun.
Yes.
From a brand business standpoint, what do you think the appetite's going to be to use something like this? Will it be, hey, we want to start doing this right away? Or is this like another one of those moments where it's like, well, I don't, like to your point with the IP, it's like, well, what should we be doing here? Do we need to like sit back and wait to get some more clarity of the situation? And, and before we move forward, because I think like a lot of these brands are just, they don't really, like this, we're still so new in this space, unless they've got, somebody that is an expert in this area that is in, their legal department or really consulting them with how they should act, that is well knowledged and well versed in this space. It's just kind of like no one really knows what to do.
There is no answer. So it's just, to me, it's all risk tolerance. Do you want to do it or do you not want to do it? And the thing with OpenAI is like, I'm pretty sure every single business that is viable is using OpenAI in some way, shape, or form. So it's like you're already using it, but like, what are you gonna do? Not use it? Like at this point, it's like for me, for the use cases for this, obviously, like if you use it terribly and wrong, you're gonna get shamed. Like people online, if you're using this stuff for social media and it sucks, like people are gonna be like, "This is AI and it sucks." Yeah. But if it's AI and it's good, and like it's AI, which is where I think a lot of stuff is gonna go. Personally, if I was the head of a big giant billion-dollar brand, if I was going to use AI, I would do it in the most ridiculous fashion, so everyone knows that it's AI.
Right.
But it's also good.
Dude, this is something that we talked about even from the early days of the video stuff. It's right. It's like we all want, like, I think a lot of us default to this like realism standpoint with the video stuff, which is cool, but like for the longest time, that's also been so unattainable. So it can be seen as a little bit like misleading, or you're trying to maybe trick somebody, right? Whereas like the opposite side of that is just like pick a non-realism style and just exploit the technology for what it is and embrace flaws, in sort of like a lighthearted way. And I think like you can't really lose in that standpoint. There's less variables, there's less polarization, less controversy. And honestly, like to your point, right? Like I just think it makes for a much more enjoyable experience. You don't have somebody in their mind is not weighing subconsciously, do I like this or not? Like in terms of like ethically, morally.
That's why the Talking Yeti was so big, because it was obviously AI, because it can't be real, but it was like it doesn't matter because it's funny. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's that whole sense of like knowing that it's fake and not trying to like deceive someone by using AI. It's just like, this is AI, but this is what you can do with AI, which is the funny factor, which finally starting to get some tools that come around to it. It can be a little bit more goofy and not so serious. Because not every tool has to be a Hollywood killer. Like it can just be fun.
Right. That's exactly right.
And brands who embrace that, I think, who are just doing it and just like having fun and testing it out and letting their audience feel through it and not being so serious about it, are going to be way better off than, it's like the brands that have fun on social media anyway. Like you look at Liquid Death, right? Like they don't care. They just do stuff. They make fun things, and like people just remember them for being fun. It's not like we have to be so tightly constricted. We can only put product photos in there and talk about like sales and things of that nature. Like no opinions, no anything, no like and then like no one cares because it's sterile and it sucks. So
I think it's I'm excited to try it. I'm excited to jump into Sora too. I think man,
play with it on the run.
We're what, first week of October? Yeah, I mean, when do we get Sora 3? I think Sora 3 will be here early next year. The way that things are going. VO4, we just mentioned, gonna be here this year. I don't have any inside knowledge, but I'm just saying that I would be very surprised if I don't see that before Thanksgiving. Oh, like what? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Even that seems like a long period between now and Thanksgiving, the end of November. You know, what they were talking about 7 weeks between now and Sora 2. I don't think Google's going to let that happen for a minute. And then we also had, let's maybe transition to, we also got Ray 3 from Luma last week, 2 weeks ago. Speaking to your filmmaker stuff, like the examples that I saw were much more sort of geared toward that side. Has quieted down a little bit. Luma's sort of an interesting character anyway in all of this. I know you've been out, but did you kind of hear about this whole thing too with like all their creators getting kicked out of the creator program, and then they like brought in just like a few back in, and everybody's just like, yo, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like no notice. This is how you piss people off right here.
Yeah. They just like kick people out because they were just like, you don't have a big enough following, which look, I get it from the brand perspective. They went about it the wrong way, but like I understand from their side where it's like, okay, if you're just using the tool and just using it and getting free credits and like not doing anything in return, like and they're just burning money. It's like, I get it. I mean, that to me signals that the company might be a little bit, CFO might be getting in there being like, we're burning a lot of money on this stuff and we're not getting anything from it. So like I see that, but also the way they went about it.
The communication sucked. Yeah. If that's the way you were going to do it from the beginning, you obviously didn't have the foresight of what if we run into this problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. The race 3 stuff. I mean, how much have you played with that? I played with it a little bit.
It's great.
I don't know that I played with it at a super deep level to like really be like, oh yeah. But I did get some interesting things. Like,
what'd you get?
It wasn't a milestone thing for me.
All right. Because I found it to be just. I've always liked Luma keyframes. I still think it has like so much morphing and artifacts, but sometimes you can just hit gold in there, whereas some of the other tools can't do the keyframes as well as Luma can. But I do overall like Luma's interface, like in the way that you're creating, and it's like modify or more like this, or you're just sort of like having a conversation. You can flip the tokens. Like it's a very like I like the UX UI. I don't know if many people do. I just think it's like very user friendly when you're in there in terms of like being creative. But
it is lightweight. I don't really particularly like. I think it's not as straightforward as it should be.
Yeah, it's only like if you've been in there and you like have seen the evolution and like know if I just open that up today and never use it, I'd be like, what the is going on in here? Like, what is going on? This makes no sense. But I found it to be the one thing. I'll share this screen here. The one thing I found is that it can do some fight scenes and things like that, which have always been a little bit harder to produce. Like having this stuff, even these towards the end here, we get a little bit more extreme with like flips and like crouching tiger, hidden dragon stuff, where it's like, I haven't been able to do fast action sort of fight scenes that aren't just jumbled messes. Like these 3 here are pretty impressive. This shot, that shot. And then this one specifically at the end, like the little twist, so that's fun. The other thing that's been good is the keyframes, right? Like this one is a good example where it's like you can build in like the speed ramping and almost the editing into it, where I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. Like that I can actually do that. But it's also, again, getting the right keyframes, right? So I wasn't getting, when I was doing this image here, like this monster truck flying over the lip, into like, oh, I wanted to land like basically skid into my face and then drive away. It like wasn't doing it, so I had to go here and then use Nano to get the edit. There's a whole process behind that edit, which is a lot more.
Are you prompted? Do you find yourself prompting differently for Ray 3 versus VO3?
Yeah, well, VO3 a lot of times there's more to control, like with the sound, if there's dialogue or whatever. I found that the fast action is better in VO3 or in Luma now. I don't know what's going on with VO3. I'm having trouble getting anything to move fast anymore. It's all moving slow again. And like what I mean by that is like fast moving things, like cars moving fast, people moving fast. It looks like everything's back in slow motion again. I don't know why. It's very odd to me. because it wasn't like that before. But for this project specifically, like this entire thing, I was trying to get way more fast shit. Like I wanted the car moving fast. I wanted it ripping at like high speeds, and I just wasn't doing it. So like, this one was interesting here. This little pop up to a wheelie, like that was Ray 3, just like kind of on its own. And I was took some frames out and then redid everything, sort of with Weavy and things of that nature. But overall, I thought it was just it's a nice update. I mean, I don't know how long it'll be relevant for until someone else comes out with it, but still find it weird that people don't like focus on keyframes. People like keyframes. You know what I mean? It's like very, very easy for a lot of people to digest keyframes.
Yeah.
Start here, end here. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Easy to control. So one thing with AI video tip, again, if you've been here this whole time, you know this. If you're a new listener, right? Like anytime you come off you have a video, right? Like for that example that I just showed with the monster truck flying over the lip. There's no context of what the side of that car looks like. So if you're just generating as a start frame, that car lands and you want it to turn, it's going to be a totally different side of the car. The wheels are going to look different. The paint job is going to be different because it's just making it up. It has no context. So keyframes allow you to like control that last frame where it's like, here's how the whole thing should look so you can keep style consistency across it. So
I think that's the next real big unlock. Maybe in combination, it's right up there with to me, like the audio and inflection and tone being correct, but the consistency with minimal oversight from scene to scene, or the progression of a scene, right? Because to your point, like there are so many of these micro moments that come up where you're like, oh, did I give enough detail? Did I get enough, did I provide enough detail either in the text prompt or the keyframes, or even just going from video to video to eliminate the possibility of things morphing or changing or losing the consistency in certain spots. Because even that one little thing, right? Especially if you're talking about using it from any professional or external standpoint outside of just social, is just like, well, you need to have that on point. And that still feels a little bit painful of a process. And that'll be one of those, I think, signature moments when that starts to take place. Because, it's like, dude, I'll go down and I'm like, I've got a couple clips, this, that, and the other. I go back, I'm like, oh, fuck, I just noticed something I didn't notice the first time around. Do I really want to go back and create? Fuck, no, sure don't. Because it's just for fun. I really don't want to spend another half hour doing that. I got to go pick up my kids from school. You know what I mean? I would love for when that happens. That to me is going to be huge.
I think it's probably going to be relatively soon. I can see like a world in which these, you upload like character or car or object and it like automatically turns it into a 3D object and then that gets placed.
And then you like approve it or something like that where it's like, okay, that's now locked, right?
Yeah. That's because if what Sora can do on this super light version, which is this, like it's been pretty damn good on that from that standpoint. But I think it's like, these are the things like that you don't get people. There's so many micro decisions on the video side because everything is so much more complex than images. Because images, it's like if I want to show the character, I transfer the character now. Now it's easy. Now it's done in 2 seconds. But the video generators still need to like create a bunch of stuff. It's no like locking a character or a product or an environment. Like it'll change because it's making stuff up. So it's like you need those little like micro decisions in there to get it. And if I showed you like how it would, for anyone who's like a designer or has like done this stuff before, like for that specific shot, like I was troubleshooting a lot on it. Actually, maybe I'll show you the workflow in Weavy because I have it. Just like sort of where the mind was going. I think it's like useful just to see this stuff because there's like this is the stuff you encounter all the time with AI video. At least I do. Trying to get this last portion over here. Where is it? So Where are we? All right. So I had this shot, right? And I'm like, I wanted this thing to, first off, the dirt jump is over here to the left. Don't want that. That's not that's not where it was when we went over the lip, right? So I wanted it to be in the middle, so I had to change it, center it to the middle. Right. But then it's like, oh well, the car is different now. That's not the car that we've been using in every single shot. So it's like how do we go back and sort of edit that, right? So then we're using, Painter here to sort of edit this, take the look of the car and then apply it. And it's like, okay, it's not one to one, but close enough, right? Then from here, it's like, okay, well, this isn't going to give me exactly what I want. I need a bigger field of view because I ran it in Luma, didn't get me what I wanted. So it's like, all right, let's zoom out, right? So zoom out, give it a little bit more wider depth of field. And then I was like, you know what? This isn't working. Like, I can't get the car to land, skid into the camera, and then drive away. So I was like, let's remove the car. Let's get rid of it totally. And then let's add it back in as skidding in front of the camera. Like, so adding this car back in, saying, where's the prompt here? Place the car in the second image, drifting towards the camera, wheels spinning, dirt flying, rear quarter panel visible, right? So that it's like, okay, that's good. That one didn't work. So I was like, damn it. let's zoom in, right?
Yeah.
Like, let's zoom in on the tire. So that's the keyframe, right? And then that ends up being how I get the shot that goes from this to here to this. So it's like keyframe 1, keyframe 2. And I was like, all right, this is where it ended. Then it was extend to get to add the next keyframe. So it's not as straightforward as it seems all the time. And people, I think that's sort of like with AI video, where it's like there's got to be processes and things that you do in prompts. It's like it's not. It's like tinkering a lot of the time to get there.
Yeah, and then you've got the extra steps. This reminds me of like that moment where it was like early on in the Midjourney days where you can do stuff, but we've got limited time and limited generations where it's like you got to go through 5 extra steps that probably you aren't going to have to go through in 6 months to a year, but you have to go through them right now. And I think part of it's good, like to experience the pain of it, because you're just like, you have to think critically. It is a little bit of a strain on the brain to like think about some of these things. Just like, oh shit, like how would I, so I think that part of it's good. But like just from like an efficiency standpoint, right? Like scaling things out, doing things faster, worrying less about every, little thing that you create is now a problem area that you have to double check. And, I think, man, that will be huge. But
the other thing with that shot, I just feel like it's a great use in troubleshooting, was that like I couldn't, when the car would turn, it would never be consistent in terms of the paint job and the colors. It would always change the top, like the rims. It would always change like everything. So I changed the prompt to be like, focus in on the axle hitting the ground and like in slow motion so that it didn't look at the car. You know what I mean? It's just like,
oh yeah,
it's like little filmmaking sort of like edits there so you don't notice it, so that when it jumps to the keyframe of the tire, it's like, oh, it's the same car, obviously.
Yeah.
It's like little things. There's no way to make that a process. That's just standard sort of like troubleshooting, I guess, in that sense. But I don't know if we're gonna have to troubleshoot anymore. Like I don't know. I feel like it's all gonna change in the next 3 months, and you got a bunch of other tools that are probably gonna come out in succession. I'm excited to see what ChatGPT does with their next image model, because their last one was really damn good. It's just slow. It's just
slow. I mean, no one's going to wait 2+ minutes for a single image.
Yeah.
And certainly not for the soft, warm
green and yellow
thing that I can't just, you can't avoid. So yeah, me too. I think that's coming too. I think that's coming soon.
I think
that's coming before end of the year. That's coming probably in the next month or two.
Because they weren't that far behind when Gemini 2.0 released. That was back in March, because I was March, beginning of April, because I was in Belgium. I remember that. And now I'm going back this week. But it was that when I was there, and I was like, what is going on here? And then they were like right after. So it's like you see the timeline start to line up, right? Like, it's funny how this works. Like Runway Gen 5 will probably be out pretty soon, just guessing, because of like the way that it's always Luma's first, like in that pack race, right? It's like Luma goes first on the dev cycle, and then Runway's typically like 2 weeks after. And then it's like, Runway's been quiet for a while.
Runway has been quiet for a while, which
Yeah.
I think I haven't even played with Aleph that much. Is it Aleph?
Aleph,
Aleph?
it's useful
I
for
mean,
certain things.
I think like there's a lot of there's there's just too many tools. There are too many tools right now.
That's why we
It's hard to
give a
be.
shout out.
It's hard to find the time to be really great at all of them. And I don't think you need to be. I think we're getting to an area where those things are going to start to collide very soon.
Yeah.
They still do kind of all have their own areas where they're good, but I think we're going to have to. There's still a lot more of these sort of tools out there than there needs to be,
Yeah.
and they're not all going to survive. So,
Well, you start to see it. You start to see the companies that it feels like they're falling behind.
where's
Feels
Pika?
like-
Where's Pika? Pika?
I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
whatever. I mean,
Right.
you see some of the tools, like I thought Higgsfield was falling behind with their video model, and then they made a pivot. They were just like, screw it, we're going to aggregate. And then Higgsfield has started to, because they can market, right? Like Higgsfield can market. And like
They
that's
are
a
they are
skill.
kind of the bad boy. They're kind of the bad boy
Yeah.
of the group.
It's smart. I saw they did a paid sponsored post on WorldStar the other day, and it was like Higgsfield acquires model and turns off the sensors. It's like, oops. And it was like, and I saw it on WorldStar that's sponsored. I was like, all right, this is some guerrilla stuff now. You're sponsoring posts on WorldStar. No other AI tool is doing that.
No. Yeah,
And-
they're definitely they've got their own brand identity for sure.
Yeah. And it's actually like, I don't know if you've played around with Soul at all. It's pretty good. Like I like it. I don't like their video models, but I like Higgsfield Soul, the image model. It's relatively creative. It has good color. It's nice and, it's got really good texture in there. It's like Midjourney, and then there's like Reeve and Higgsfield, like or Rev or Reeve, whatever you want to call it. Are like
I used to
right
really
there
like
for me.
Visual Electric. Visual Electric
Yeah.
just got bought.
By who?
Perplexity.
Oh, interesting play. Perplexity.
Yeah, that just happened a couple days ago.
This is what I
And,
feel like would be happening, right? This acquisition stuff feels like it should have been happening.
That's
sooner.
what I think it's just like this is gonna keep happening. And Visual Electric was always good. I always loved Visual Electric. I thought they made it really easy. It was a very lightweight tool. I didn't use it a ton, but like it was also a great place to go for inspiration. Like you saw really high quality images be created there. The prompt coherence was a little bit different than something like a Midjourney, but the quality I thought was always right up there with Midjourney. Not as creative as Midjourney, but
Yeah.
quality wise.
Well, that's what we're missing with a lot of this stuff. That's why this Sora thing feels so much like Midjourney to me, where it's like put something in, get something good out. You don't have to be a technical specialist to get something.
Yeah.
Which that was what always made Midjourney good. It's the ease of use and the quality of output for whatever skill level you are, and made it fun. Which
Yep.
did Midjourney say they were doing a social app a while ago, or thinking about doing social profiles? Am I missing that?
They weren't talking about an app, but they were talking about profiles. Maybe this is a good time to kind of switch over to them. We could kind of focus on them really quick. So they did. I mean, there's nothing been major since Style Explorer, which was coincidentally enough the last time that we talked. It was episode 50. We had Alar on. We went deep. We talked about some things. That was kind of like what they led with last office hours. I think I joined a few minutes late, but I caught most of this. Style Explorer, I mean, there are some things that have changed since they launched it. So they're adding more and more styles. We obviously had that one nice little unlock with the hidden search, the smart search thing, which people love that. But now sort of, I think like the unlock here, in case you're not aware with it, is now really you can refine this here. So like I could just type in the color red and now I'm going to get a bunch of red style refs. I could take it further. I could do red illustration. Right.
Oh,
and now I'm going to get red illustration. So now this becomes much more interactive, right? You're not so reliant on, what do I see here in this, the explore page? Do I like anything? Which is cool. Like, I don't think there would have been anything wrong with that. But now you could really be more proactive with just finding exactly what you're looking for. So, I mean, the smart search thing is cool. I think, again, from like a different exploration style, you like a certain look, feel, generalization. Maybe you don't even know how to describe it kind of way. Whereas this gives you sort of like a little bit more of that juice to just like go in and say, okay, I just want something. Let's start with like just orange, right? And then, blah, blah, blah. So
I like that one right at the top right. That was like a nice, like
this
soft,
one,
weird, bumpy textures.
let's see. Do I have? Oh, I don't really want to create that with that, but let's do. Give me something.
Period. Have you ever tried that?
Yeah, but it's been a long time.
It just goes. It's nice.
Let's
sometimes.
let's run a bunch of EXP on this too. I'm just curious to see what pops up if we do that. Also, they did mention somebody asked if EXP is going to be on V8, and David was unsure.
Huh?
He wasn't. I'm not. I don't know. Maybe.
Probably not a lot of people using
It's like,
it.
bruh, EXP is the juice. That's literally. I use EXP all the time. We talked about this on the episode with Marco. Like, I think that was episode 49. It was just like just a little bit, and you just get completely different results. Like, almost every time a little bit of EXP beats none.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are really cool.
Like the textures.
Texture's awesome.
Like this would be a stacking piece for me. Like I would like to use this one as a stack with other things too, because it obviously looks like it has a very close up macro texture, bumpy, like smooth at the same time, like porcelain almost. That's cool.
Yeah, and then I want like same, right? So like again, if you don't know how to explain that, and maybe you don't want just orange, right? Now you kind of again get tossed into a category of other things that you might like here, like super textural focused,
So much
tactile.
better.
Yeah,
This is like the best. This is like the best thing that's happened to the Explorer
Super
page
cool.
in a long time.
yeah. I mean, this is awesome, man. I don't know that there's anything else you could ask for in terms of the Explorer, the Explore page. I don't know about the profile thing though. Going back to that you mentioned that, I don't see that in.
User
I think I
profile's
saw
coming.
that.
There it
Okay,
is.
there it does say it.
Huh.
But no update on timeline.
I wonder how that.
Possibility of an update in 7. Oh, that's personalization. They did talk about personalization for more nuanced control.
Okay.
That'd be great. Tired of my personalization. We all know that. Yeah, there's not a lot outside of the style. They did mention style finder in progress. So, this part, I think, style creator is maybe what I'm
That's
thinking
cool.
about. So you can create your own new styles.
I like that.
And
seems fun.
this is not out yet, but this is something that they were talking about.
I could see that one being a real fun addition, like playing. I don't know how David hates drop downs, so I don't know how they do it, but maybe it's just like if you create an image and just saying like create a style code out of it, like that feels like how they do something like that. Maybe.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, I
could
feel like
be-
there's some, maybe in the back end, there's some connection to mood boards too, in a sense.
Yeah, something. I still love mood boards. I use them all the time. It's like that's like my style.
That's like,
code.
I haven't been using mood boards lately, but
I actually went on to rank images on my personalization code the other day, which I haven't done
Look at you.
in a long time. I just
Look at you,
wasn't
man.
vibing with it as of recent. I was like, you know what? This needs to change.
oh, you know what they were doing though? They did have a style ranking thing going on too. Let me dive into this. So,
Like a ranking party kind of thing.
yes. Here it is. We're doing a ranking part for styles. Tell us which one you like better. I haven't opened this up. Okay. So then, yeah, it's just a ranking system. Which one do I like better? Don't really care for like one. Interesting.
Also, you can just like it and then save it if you want to just like
Yes.
go through a bunch of styles.
Also I'm glad that you noticed that. They did mention that too, and I think that's extremely helpful.
Yeah.
Like that's smart. But this is interesting because also there's a lot of, I don't need 5 billion style codes when 3 billion of them suck. You know what I mean? So I think like if this helps curate, and we just get to better and better styles too, that's amazing.
And I don't have to run R40.
R40.
to find them.
God, man, the good old days of R40, SREF random R40. Oh boy.
Please. I mean, like that was just like, and then there's nothing worse than when I do it and I pushed like up and put R40 and then it would just give me like the same style code 40 runs because I didn't change it to SREF random. Just be like,
oh no.
Yeah. Did that so many times.
Oh my God. That's the worst.
Try to frantically cancel all of them. Cancel.
Yeah. I like when you cancel some and then they still generate anyway.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's like screw you, dude.
Yeah. It's like, no, you didn't cancel it before 50%, so we're gonna go ahead and follow through.
I'm curious what did they say anything in the office hours about V8? Like if anything, like what they were focusing on? I know they've just been kind of teasing it, but they haven't been saying much.
That's a great question. I don't think I caught anything other than just the point that they were talking about whether this is something we'd see in 2025, which basically David was saying, yeah, we're aiming for 2025. Obviously, like if I had to predict, this is going to bump up against the holidays. We're going to run into this, similar situation where we're like, do we push this before the end of the year? Or do we go into next year? So they did say something like, expected in 25, possibly early next year. Beyond that, though, they just said this, right? Like there's nothing really new here. Better quality, better coherence, better personal. I mean, that's kind of the same stuff they've been saying. I'll go back to, some of the things that they've said in the past and you and I have talked about, which is they were really hyped about V8, in terms of like their initial things that they were scoping out for it, data sets or whatever they do over there to get a grasp on the potential of it. They're really excited about it. I would imagine they got to get this consistent character object reference thing down. Not even just better. It needs to be down by the time that they launch this now. Because somebody else is already going to do it. I mean, we're already really close. Like I would say there's still a little bit of room there. It's not perfect. It's not perfect anywhere yet. But there's your opportunity. It needs to at least be at that level. Otherwise, why do I'm not going to use it there.
I mean, you have Nano that can do it. You have Seed Edit that can do it. You have Runway references. You have Reeve Edit now can do it. You have ChatGPT Image that can do it. You have Flux Context that can do it. It's like, I know it's not a priority
table
for them,
stakes.
but
Table
everyone
stakes.
wants it.
Table stakes.
It feels like if any of those companies can just do it like this, they can obviously do it. But I don't know why they're just not prioritizing it. It doesn't seem like they are. But the data set thing is interesting because I'm pretty sure if we go back in time, like I think David said that the V7 was still trained on the V6 data set. So like if they're overhauling that's probably pretty important. I don't know if there was anything with Meta there that could be. I don't know if there's anything that was in that Meta partnership sort of announcement that said there was something about data sharing or things like that. Because if they had access to Meta stuff, that
some of that's I don't think any of that's been like publicly released. Like we don't even know.
No, we don't know. It's just a guess. If I was trying to get a data set, that's probably one I'd want.
Do you remember when Meta came out with that first image model?
Yeah.
Do you remember that? It was like a fart in the wind. It was gone here. It was here today, gone tomorrow.
It's crazy as Meta lets you use their stuff for free and like people don't use it.
Yeah.
What I mean, it's like you can generate images in Instagram for free. You can generate it on the Meta AI app for free. And like it's just like it doesn't get any hype, which is so weird that it's just like we are clamoring over to pay for things.
That's why I think like that was a really interesting thing to see come together. Facebook and Meta from that. God, I want to call it Facebook.
Yeah, me too.
But Meta from that side, it's just. I feel like there's just not a lot of great brand equity when it comes to these new things, like even just with threads, right? Like that was a real sort of like thing where you're just like, okay, this feels like the first big social app in a long time, right? And then it was just like, it was gone. It was like a week went by and it was just, it's over,
Yeah.
And so like Midjourney does have this really, I would say loyal for the most part base and good brand equity for the most part with the people that are in there every day. So I would, I'm interested to see what they do with that. Yeah.
Can go a number of ways. I mean, I think if Midjourney wants to keep up with anything, like at a certain point, like I think it's valid to start having the conversation. Like, it's going to be really hard for like private models to keep up. You can't match the data sets of anyone else. Right? You just can't. So I don't know.
You know what? That did come up though in the officer. I did hear something about David saying the data set, from his perspective wasn't good.
Yeah.
And so he's really excited, and I hadn't really heard him say that before. So I don't know, just kind of was like one of those things that made my ears perk up.
It's just like, how are you gonna compete? Like, how does anyone compete with Google? You just think about it. It's like they have access to so much, and it's like they can just build in very like methodical way, and it's like Google can fail. Like a product sucks, whatever, shelf it, doesn't matter, drop in the bucket, like on to the next one. Like tools like I feel like Midjourney and Runway like can't fail because it's like their whole thing. And if they
Google needs a place though. They need a home. They need a product renaming.
They have so many
strategy. Like it's just like I can use, Nano Banana in a million places, but why am I not using it on Google directly? And I mean, maybe they don't care about that so much, but like I would really kind of care about that. I would also want to know why a lot of people don't even know Nano Banana is Gemini, Google Gemini 2.5, right? It's like, why are those two different things? You know what I mean? Like, why do we have two names for the same thing? And then, you got Flow, and then what is Flow and Whisk? And, we got VO3, like all these things, image gen, okay, we got an image generator, but we got Nano Banana. Like, what are we doing?
2.5. Yes.
What are we doing? You know what I mean? It's just that part of it to me is a problem for them. But you're right. Like, we were here a year ago and we were just like, yo, what is Google doing?
Yeah.
Remember that was like a year ago and there was like really nothing.
It's like
I think they were still doing Bard at that time. You know what I mean? Like there was nothing.
Oh my God. They were like an alligator like sitting underneath the water, just like waiting. Like, what does everyone like? We're developed. We'll wait. And then I don't even know if there was a VO1. It just was VO2.
Right. Like, yeah.
I don't remember if there was or not, but there was. They waited. Then they released, and it was a banger. Then they just sit there and wait and survey, and then it was ImageFX or whatever the hell the platform was, and they switched it. It's like now it's Flow. It's like, okay, what happened to ImageFX?
I have a question. I have a question for you here. So kind of going back to this office hours as I'm reading this last point here. VO2 model plan post V8, which they've talked about. Let's visit this for a second.
Okay.
Knowing what we know right now, I mean, things can change. We're, if this, the earliest we would see this is 3 months from now, the earliest. But that said, what would you hope this brings to the table for a V2 video model inside of Midjourney? Is there a certain other tool that you hope it leans more to be like in certain ways? Are there certain features you would hope to have? Like what would make you run the hell out of Midjourney's V2 video model? What would they need to have in order for you to use that as your primary video, your daily driver with video?
Unpopular opinion, but I kind of want it to be like.
I'm asking your opinion, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I would want it to be like Sora because for Midjourney, a lot of the things I just want to do it for fun. Like, I just want it to be fun, and I want it to be like entertaining, And I just, there's so many professional uses for this stuff, but like for this one specifically, like I just sort of wanted to, and I think their idea of what this is going to change. Like whatever they think it is right now, wait until these next couple tools come out, and they're going to be like, why even waste our time with doing some of this stuff?
I wonder what
they're.
sound. What do you think there's? How do you think they ideate what this video model is going to be?
I think they're just trying to
like. Are they like?
Back.
Is there? How would you like if you and me were in charge of Midjourney and we're like, okay, we need to do a V2 video model.
Yeah.
What would we do to feel like we're headed in the right direction there? Like, are we just purely going off of things that we're seeing and hearing? I don't feel like Midjourney hasn't done anything survey related with video.
No.
Like where are you getting this? And I would assume like you're probably aggregating data and research somewhere, but like, I don't know. Are there breadcrumbs and signals to see where things are going besides just gut and intuition and things that we're seeing? Like, do they have access to know what Luma's planning on doing next? Or, Google's planning on doing, like I just don't know what happens behind the scenes. And I'm just curious about that. Like how they go about that. Like to your point, that thing could be very fluid. So it's like, you wouldn't necessarily want to spend all day in a boardroom, hypothetically on a whiteboard, and then come to a conclusion on something, and then a month later, that's going to change.
That's why it's like when ChatGPT had text, it was like we didn't know we wanted text until we had it. Do you know what I mean? So to me, I don't need like a ton of stuff from Midjourney currently, but I also think like, what is the long-term vision of theirs, and then we can start to sort of reverse engineer that. I think they want to be like immersive 3D or 4D worlds, right? So you're going to have all this stuff. You're going to have character consistency, dialogue, sound, like ambient sound, at least at a minimum. You're going to have interactions, changing camera controls around within it. So image, video editing, things like that. Like, I feel like every step is like building towards having this immersive world. So it's like, what do you need? Yeah,
that's a good point. Reverse engineering it. I also that's maybe where this comes into play with these things that are wild cards, which would be the secret projects.
Yeah.
Because this feels very far away, but I think the opportunity is to engage, like obviously audio, but to engage more senses, touch, smell. Those things aren't possible anywhere right now, but they will be at some point. When you're talking about like an immersive world, something you can step into and feel like you're a part of, you would need tactile touch. You would need to be able to smell something for things to be immersive. And I think like that would be interesting. That's a whole nother thing, right? Like when we're talking about brands doing something different, like could you imagine being able to smell something that you've never tasted before?
Yeah.
And decide whether or not you want to buy it. You know what I mean? Or, it's just super interesting, man. I wonder if like there's a part of that because they were talking about wearables or talking about, but we don't know anything else.
Yeah.
Is it something like that?
Like imagine like a hotel that's like, if I like a good marketing, like a good like marketing play. It's like, oh, I'm going to put on my VR headset and go sit on the front, the front patio of like some hotel in, Bora Bora or whatever, and just like immersively live in it for a minute. I'd be like, yeah, I want to go there. It's like, feeling everything, seeing it, smelling it. Like,
oh God, could you imagine how that's going to change the travel industry?
Yeah. It's a marketing play.
See if you could put yourself at the pool side of this hotel that you're thinking about versus a pool side at somewhere else you're thinking about staying.
Yeah.
What?
Might make things in real life better. Might be like, oh, we can't hide this stuff anymore. It's real now. People can see it. It's not like a surprise. Will that take away from it though? Like I'm always like a big.
I do.
I don't want to know.
I like spontaneity to a degree. Yeah. Maybe we're opening something big here. But does spontaneity become far more rare? And I think that is something that I've not heard anybody talk about, but I think is absolutely up for grabs in terms of stealing that away from us.
Yeah.
if everything can be predictable to some degree, or you've got now this ability to immerse yourself in situations you never would have been able to before, yeah, significantly. And you're right. Like, what if you like spontaneity? What if you like impulsiveness? What if you like unpredictability?
Not
It's
knowing.
coming for you. That would suck, actually, in some ways.
Yeah. Like when I travel, I like to just like put me out on a street and figure it out. Like I don't want to know. I want to like find.
To some degree, right? Like there's this element of just being in the moment, right? Like going back to that sort of like being in the present. How are you in the present if you know everything or you have a good enough idea how things are going to take shape?
Yeah. I mean, you always feel better, like especially when you're doing something like that, right? When it's like if you had a schedule and it was like we have to be here, and then we're going to go here for lunch, then after lunch we're going to do this, and then da. Then it's like if you don't adhere to the schedule, you feel like
you're going to be
disappointed.
pissed. You're going to be pissed. Yeah.
But if you go and find, like, I'm walking on the street and I found like a little bakery that's got some like fire looking croissants, and I go in there and be like, I'll remember that place. That was awesome.
Right.
I felt really good about that.
There's a difference between you
Expectations
bookmarking
exceeded.
20 places that you might want to see versus having 6 places that you have to see on Tuesday before 3 p.m. And if you don't do it, you're going to be crushed. You know, like.
And then it's like, then the rush takes in, and then it's like, then I'm just at work. Like, now I'm just like on a clock. Like, why? But I hope it doesn't get like this. I hope it's not everything is so. That's the one thing. Is like it feels. Someone said this in the group chat the other day that it's like I miss when AI video was hard. And it was like, you know what? I do miss when like Midjourney was a little bit harder to crack it. It felt like a little bit,
especially realism, dude, because it was like you were, like
when you
remember we were talking about camera angles and photography types, and it was like no one's doing this, you know. But this is how you get the realism results right now, like you had to do it. So it was like this little, sort of like secret nugget. It feels very nostalgic now.
It does, and that's what I'm hoping doesn't happen, to where like the craft is so minimized to where it's like not fun anymore.
I do, because I haven't really seen it yet to the level it will be, but it's like you go on, I don't know, something like LinkedIn. You'll see somebody that is not an AI image creator, and now they have the ability to create something in ChatGPT, and they're posting AI image stuff now. And it's just like, but you didn't go through crawling through the mud and climbing the walls and like, rounding the blocks 5 times, turning back around and like having to cut through an alley. Like you didn't do all that. And now you can, and you don't have to do it. And, the ChatGPT stuff, I think, like, obviously, again, like current example, most of the people that do it well are not those people. But I think by this next real flip of the switch, right, whether that's the next ChatGPT image model, it will be. And that part of it kind of stings a little bit,
Yeah, it's like if you're playing basketball and you make every shot, it's like, is it fun anymore if you don't miss?
Nope.
Like it's like I don't know. I don't want to go fishing and catch a fish on every cast. That's boring. Like, I just know the outcome, right?
You don't want to play Madden on rookie mode when you're a good player.
No.
Yeah, I could run for 400 yards and pad my stats. I think by the time I got to the 3rd or 4th game in my season, I'd be pretty like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? You need some adversity. You need some challenge.
Yeah. I hope, I'm not hoping for things to just stay the way they are. They're not going to stay the way they are. I just hope that there's something like new that's still like the horizon to unlock, where it's like, what else can I have to go figure out? Like the Weavy stuff was like perfect. It's like, I like this now, because this is like a whole new set of problems that I can try to figure out. Like, how do we do batch processing?
I think maybe we should do an episode. We were talking about that. We should do an episode maybe focused on sort of more of that workflow process style for folks. People love it. Weavy's been a great tool for you. You sort of like really kind of introduced me to it, and then I've had fun with it. I do think like the scalability and repeatability of that kind of stuff is going to be really, really important here in the short term until there's a better way, but at least for the foreseeable future, that's the better way.
It's great to just see everything. Like that's really why I like it's all in one. I just like looking at it. Like instead of like going between tabs and like going to my downloads folder and like it's all there. You guys should really see what one of these episode thumbnail workspaces look like.
Yeah,
it's chaos.
Chaos, baby.
There's no organization. It's just pure like, wow, what is his brain on right now? But dude,
I hope you come up with some Jabba the Hutt, Princess Leia stuff for this next cover.
might have to. We've been
All
going
right,
ridiculous
man.
lately.
Well, what do you think? Wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Feel pretty good. I think like we wanted to. It's been a few weeks, so we wanted to kind of like touch on a few different areas. I think a lot's changed. A lot hasn't changed. I think even next week we'll see something. Something else is gonna be unlocked here in the next week. I think too, when people are going further into Sora, for example, we're also going to see other things, right? Like there's that moment where things get released, and then there's also that moment where you start to see all these different use cases or tweaks or things that maybe you didn't think of the first time around, right? That I think is like the second wave of excitement that I always look forward to too. So we'll touch on that. And man, it's good to see you. It's been too long, dude. So
We'll get back.
yeah, it's good to be back.
We'll get back. I'm done traveling after next week for a little bit, which is good. I'm tired of being out of my apartment for all this time. I need to be home. But the other thing is, because you guys haven't heard this in a month, damn it, like and subscribe. That's it. That's all we're asking for. Not that hard. Just hit a button.
Went back to waiting to the end. All right.
Hit a button. We forgot. We were
Hit the
out
button.
of practice.
Hit the button. Show us some love, guys. Thanks for being patient with us. Thanks for coming, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great weekend.
See ya.